Alright, hello everyone, it's Happy, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 credit earners in World of Tanks Blitz, right? I'm going to be basing this list off of my personal opinion, but also basing it off of stats, so it's going to be something in between. And this list is not in any particular order, so I'm going to be talking about each tank individually. So at number 5, I'm going to be putting in the Löwe, and this is a German tier 8 heavy tank. It looks absolutely amazing. And the credit coefficient is 185 on here. So that is very, very high, higher than your standard tier 8 premium tank. So you are going to be making a lot more credits. What's going to help you make more credits is the fact that this tank has a very accurate gun. You're going to miss less, and therefore you're going to do more damage, right? And therefore you're going to have more credits earned. Simple as that. Overall, the game can be quite boring over some time. This was one of my first premiums ever. I remember it very well. And I do like the way it looks. It's very aesthetic looking, but the gameplay can be boring, guys. I'm going to say that straight away. The turret is very strong. You have good gun handling. You have decent hull armor as well. The only thing is that the tank is very, very sluggish. So you won't be able to play a fast/dynamic game in this tank. So that is one of the negatives I will give regarding this tank. At number 4, I'm going to be putting in the T26E4. This has the highest credit coefficient in tier 8 at 190%. That is absolutely insane. And this tank will earn you a lot of credits, no doubt. However, the other side is that this tank is not that strong. The gun is mediocre, the armor is mediocre in general, and the mobility is also mediocre. So you really have to try and weigh out your positives and negatives before sort of getting a tank like this. Because as I said, the credit coefficient may be high, but the gameplay is going to be absolutely brutal and annoying. So I would not recommend this tank a lot, because I feel like if you're going to be wasting your gold on a tank, you should get a tank that you would actually enjoy playing. This is not one of those tanks, but I still wanted to include it into the list because some people really do need to farm credits, and this tank will farm you credits, no doubt. So that is why I am adding it into the list. Now, at the number 3 spot, I'm going to be putting in the Object 252U. Now, I'm putting in this tank because I know a lot of newer players also want to farm credits. This specific tank is, well, basically for a noob or mediocre or a newer player, basically. Because the armor is very strong on this thing. The gun has good alpha. You have good mobility. So if you know that you're not that good with like a Scorpion G, for example, I would definitely recommend the Object 252U. It's a solid tank. It's going to get you that win rate and damage you're looking for. And therefore, in return, you're going to be getting more credits because you're winning more matches and you're doing more damage. It's simply how the equation works. And the 252U is one of the fan favorite tanks as a newer player. So I would definitely recommend this tank if you're struggling to play Blitz and you really need credits. Now, next up, I would definitely put in the Chimera. The Chimera is, again, good for newer players, but also good for experienced players, just because it's going to smack up a lot of tanks. I wouldn't say the armor is great. It's alright for sure, but the most important thing is this is a medium with a big juicy gun that can smack you up and do a lot of damage, and the win rate also shows it on the whole server, right? So game-wide, the Chimera has one of the highest win rates for tier 8 tanks in general, and that is because of all of its good characteristics combined together, making it a solid choice to farm credits as well. As I said before, the more damage you do, the more games you win, the higher the chance that you're going to farm more credits. It makes sense. So if you're really looking for a credit earner and you don't have the Chimera, I would definitely suggest this tank because it is very, very unique and strong overall. And lastly, we have the T54E2, or otherwise known as the Shark. This is a tank I really do like. The gun handling is great. The overall turret armor is great. The hull is great. This is basically a buffed up E5, and it has all the good characteristics you need in order to play this tank. I would say this tank is more for skilled players, because you sort of need to know how to play it in certain times, because I wouldn't say it's an indestructible machine like the Object 252U and you can just spam the enemy head on with your whole hull. I wouldn't recommend that, but you need to know where you can peek, where you can use your gun depression, where you can use your turret, things like this, and you would overall have to think a little bit more. As I said, this tank is a solid choice if you are a more or less skilled player and you want to farm credits. So this was my top 5, guys. Tell me what you guys think about this in the comment section below. And of course, into honorable mentions, I would definitely throw in the Scorpion G because of just how good of a TD it is. So with that, happy is out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.